Good morning, my stitchy people. It's Shelley from Proverbs 31:22. Today is Thursday, May the 14th of 2020. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel where I share about some quilting and a lot of cross stitch and a little bit of life happenings. Not a whole lot of that, but a little bit. So if you're new here, welcome. I appreciate the visit. If you like what you see, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to be notified whenever I put on new content. I don't really have a schedule that I follow with my content. It's just sort of when I have something to share, I'll jump on and do a video. And if you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you all so much. So what's been going on here? Still working a reduced schedule at the clinic that I work at. We did a few weeks ago say goodbye to our physician who he had sold his practice to this company that I work for back in the end of 17. And then I started on with them in May of 18. And he decided beginning of this year that he wanted to move to a new practice. So it's pretty sad. It's still pretty sad because I had only met him like one time before when I worked for cardiology, and just had a real brief discussion with him about some of the meaningful use, the government mandates for meaningful use in the healthcare industry. So I didn't really know him, when I started for this company, but not only is he an amazing, caring doctor that, his patients just adore him, but he's just generally a good person. And so, it's always hard to say goodbye, but when you really, when it's such a good person, it's really extra hard to say goodbye. So anyway, that's been a little different. We're having different people fill in for him until the new person starts in June. So we've also started telemedicine, and that's interesting. It's interesting because it just is another step added to another, item added to the workload for front desk and for providers. And the way that they're implementing it is just a little, I don't know, it's just crazy that someone can go online at like 11:25 and hold a spot for 11:30 for telemedicine, but they don't have any of their paperwork or their credit card information put in. So you're waiting on them to finish, before you can fully register them and make them ready for the provider in 5 minutes. So it's a little backwards. Like, can you not make them fill everything out and then be able to reserve a time spot? It just sort of doesn't make sense. But I think that just comes from, the people behind the policies and the processes don't work in the field, and so they don't have a clue. That's my opinion. So we also got notification this last week about some policies that they're instituting, basically safety measures related to the coronavirus. So it's a little like you just sort of scratch your head and go, okay, it's the middle of May, and we've been in this pandemic since January, February. Why haven't you done this months ago? One of them is that they're going to finally put a plexiglass shield in front of the front desk. Jeez, like, what took y'all so long? Pretty frustrating. So anyway, that's going on. Now let's move on to some happier, better stuff. So I was supposed to work for Mother's Day. On Sundays, we're open 1 to 5 every Sunday except for Easter. I work every other weekend, so I was supposed to work. And then Saturday evening, we got the notification from our division vice president, who's our acting manager, um, until we find until he finds an actual manager, um, that he couldn't find a provider for Sunday. So he made the decision to just close the clinic. So, yeah, I lost 4 hours, on top of the hours that I'm already losing from being cut back. But I had Mother's Day off, so it was a good little trade off. Um, we were planning on doing something this coming Sunday, and we still are going to do that because my son-in-law was not in town this past Sunday. But we just ended up hanging out here at my house. My daughter and grandsons came, and then my younger daughter and her girlfriend and her son came over later in the day. So it was a good day. My husband and my daughters bought me something that I had requested from them, and this is a picture of it. I had seen them several years ago at Walmart. I have an anti-gravity chair that my younger daughter had bought for me 9 years ago, actually, and love it. And then I saw these swings at Walmart several years ago. And so it just, they were saying, "What do you want, Mom?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't think of anything, gift certificates of Hobby Lobby or Fat Quarter Shop or something." And then we were sitting in the front yard, and I was on the porch on the swing, and it was like, gosh, it would be nice to have a swing in the backyard. And then the light bulb went off. So after a lot of rigmarole with trying to find where they had one, they ended up only having them in stock at one Walmart in our area, and it's about a 40-minute drive away from where we live. So I sent my younger daughter who lives closer, to make sure that they actually had them. And she said, yes, they do. And I think they'll fit in your car if you fold your seats down and have a little Buick Encore SUV. So my husband got off of work one day and drove over to that Walmart, and he's like, "This thing won't fit in either one of our cars." So then the next night he borrowed my son-in-law's brother's pickup truck and went and got it. And then Saturday while I was at work, he put it up. So we got to hang out and play in the swing, and we set up the pool for the kids in the yard, and it was a good day. So that's what's going on with us. So this coming Sunday, we will go out to a place on the Natchez Trace called Colbert Ferry, and it's just one of the most beautiful places in the Shoals where we live, and it's just a real peaceful place. And it's every now and then for Mother's Day I'll say that's what I want to do, but I think it's been Malachi is 7, and he was probably 1.5 or so, and he's like 7.5. So it's been quite a while since we've gone out there. So I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, that's what's going on with me life-wise. So stitching-wise, I do have an FFO today, one, and this is one of my Mania projects. I'm trying to see where, I know I have the pattern up here somewhere, but I didn't put it within reach. So I got the Eat, Sleep, Stitch pattern by Lori Holt finished up in my colorway, and I turned it into a stitching, a project bag. So this is stitched on 25 count pewter Lugana, and this is left over from another piece that I had, and I just used a variety of the purple classic color works that came in the Floss Fix a few months ago from Fat Quarter Shop. I did. I have a couple of little blubs, like on this T right here. I've got a stitch missing. I'm leaving it off. I ran out of thread when I got right here. I think it's supposed to have like 4 more stitches coming out the needle, but I wasn't going to get another length of thread and make it longer. So this is made with just some fabrics that I picked up at Joann a while back. And I did get it to like make a bag, but not necessarily a project bag. Just I had a book that had different bags and totes in it. But I found this in my stash the other day and I was like, oh yes. So I'm really, really happy with the way it came out. I love the fabric. It's my colors and it's birds and Paris and flowers. Geez, what more could you want? So this is the inside. And so yeah, got a FFO. Practical FFO too. So I love that. That's my only one. And then I have my Mania whips to share in addition to the quilt on the wall behind me. Last May, I went to a quilt retreat with our local guild up in Tennessee. We have a little, there's a like event center that has like sort of like, it's not cabins because they're all connected, but it's sort of a rustic place. But anyway, I had a lot of fun. I got a lot done, a lot of sewing done at that retreat. So I had made a quilt for my husband for his birthday last year. And I was like, well, I want to make myself one too. So this will be my like sofa little throw. Because I will use like on the back of his, I used one of those really, really soft, like minky style blankets. And I have one that I think will work size-wise for the back of this. So this is Missouri Star Quilt Company's half square triangle around the world pattern. Super easy. You start with a layer cake and you make half square triangles with the layer cakes. I'm looking to see if I can tell you what the name of the fabric is. I'll have it linked below. I'll have to go and look it up. But it's basically flowers and butterflies, and it's my colors all the way. So, so these are some of the threads that I was sort of thinking about quilting it with. And these are this one and this one are tatting threads that I used when I tat. They're called Elizabeth. You can get some colors at Hobby Lobby, but I order mine from Handy Hands Tatting because I think they're like the official ones that distribute it or whatever. I don't know if that's what it's called, but like they have all the colors. I don't know if they own the company, the Elizabeth company, but so there's 2 choices. And then I also have this Sue Spargo eleganza. I like all of them, so I don't know. I'll see when it gets closer to when I'm going to quilt it. I'll lay them all out on there, and a lot of times I'll lay them out and take a picture and let people vote. Tell me which one to choose. So I basically just hung that up there so you would have something different to look at than the one that was up there last time. But I've also started working on my Quilter's Quandary quilts, and I got two blocks fully done, and they're identical. This quilt will be for my younger daughter who turns 30 in October, and I've talked on here before about the fact that cross stitch has taken over and quilting has taken a back seat. And I really don't know all the reasons. Like, I can think of things, like what I think the reasons are, but I don't know. Cross stitch was sort of my first love, and so I feel like I'm coming back to my first love. I don't know. I still love quilts, and I really like making them, and I love, when these, like these that came out pretty spot on with those points and stuff. I love that. But then I'll have to put them all together, and that'll be a disaster. But anyway, I did, I had made a quilt for my older daughter for her 30th birthday. So I absolutely, want to make one for my younger daughter for her 30th birthday. And with the speed that I'm working on quilts currently, it was like, I think I should probably put everything else quilting wise on the back burner and get started piecing this quilt. So that's what I'm doing. And it's come along okay. I've got, I think there's 12 more of the blocks that size with varying colors. And then some smaller size blocks as well. So it's about 100 blocks of varying sizes. So definitely not a quick project. So I've been working on that, and then I've been working on my mania. And let me show you my progress on those. So I'm doing the Little Sheep Virtues, and Cobweb Corner is hosting a stitch along. And I haven't gotten a whole lot done on this, but I've got a little bit of progress. There are 12 virtues, and I am going to stitch them all on one piece. And I don't remember if I talked about it before or not, but I know I posted it on Instagram. I guess that's a problem when you post stuff on social media and then you get ready to do a video and you're like, did I already talk about this on a video or did I just post it on social media? So anyway, in the midst of stitching the sheep, I wasn't real happy with the way my threads were laying. I think I did talk about this in the last video because I talked about the stitches closest to the flower I wasn't crazy about. And then I started using the trolley needle, which is a laying tool. And I like the way those stitches look a lot better. So that's one mania start. And that is on 28 count woodshell linen, in the color is Venetian stone, and I'm using the call for DMC flosses. And then Fat Quarter Shop is doing a mystery stitch along. That is it's called Feels Like Home. I'm sorry, I don't have the pattern. I have to pull it up on my iPad. So I've got the little bird done. I wasn't happy with the like I was doing Classic Colorworks and DMC flosses, and I wasn't real happy with um, the contrast. So I ordered all the Classic Colorworks, or most of the Classic Colorworks, especially for the bird, um, so that I would have that contrast. So I did go ahead and finish the little bird. I didn't finish all the leaves because they released part two, and I had never stitched a house before, so I wanted to get started on the house. So, these are the flosses for that. It's going to be really, really pretty. I love birds, and I think he's just adorable. Pardon my dog. Who knows what is going on outside, and he thinks he's got to go check it out or enforce his border, I guess. I don't know. And then I've started this. This is a free pattern from Brooks Books Publishing. My husband loves eagles and flags, patriotic type things. So, excuse me, my nose is itching. So I got my eagle completely done. Well, not completely. So, but this is him. This is in, these flosses are all DMC. I am going to use a Classic Colorworks on the red stripe on the flag. And then it's stitched on 28 count Wichout natural color linen. I didn't stitch his eye yet. I did use, it calls for chronic on the beak and then on parts of the flag. And I just used a sulky yellow that I had. So it calls for a blue eye. And I looked up blue-eyed eagles, and there is a blue-eyed eagle. I think it's called the Filipino eagle. Couldn't find anything that said bald eagles had blue eyes. So, you know what? I'm just thinking just now. So my husband said, just do it black, because I'm thinking bald eagles have, sort of golden eyes. But I think I might do a bead. I might do a bead for the eye, and I don't know if I'll do it a yellowish, goldish, or if I'll do it black, like he said. But anyway, I want to do that for him for Father's Day. And then I have Madame Chantilly's My Love. So pretty. And I got a little start on this. Now this is that mystery cloth. I think it may be Lugana. They didn't mark. I got it at my local, not local, but it's in Huntsville, but Patches and Stitches. And I mean, all they did was mark the size that they cut. They didn't mark what kind of cloth it was. So note to self, if you get fabric from there in the future, you have to make your own note. So I got just a little small start on the bottom, the E, the little sweet little floral heart wreath. I love it. And these are the threads for this pattern, which I think is just gorgeous. These are all the called for DMCs. So I've got that as another mania. I think I have two more. I'll have two more Mania starts. So these, I'm doing the Valentine House Trio by Waxing Moon Designs, and I am using the Instagram user autumn.stitches. I'm using her color conversions. And it's mostly classic color works with some weeks in there and like one DMC. So this is my start on the beloved, sorry, this one right here. And I love it. Oh gosh, those flowers. Beautiful. And then I also started the Valentine House, which is the top one right there. And I worked on this one yesterday, so I got the roof done and the chimneys and that little flower up at the top. Oh, so sweet. So I've had a little bit of a first world problem with this pattern, not the pattern, the stitching of it, because of the cloth. So these are stitched on 28 count woodshelt linen from Fat Quarter Shop in the color China Pearl. So, and I've shared about this before, so I ordered 3 packs, and when I was cutting, I accidentally, like I had gotten my my linen club in, and I accidentally cut the 3rd piece from, actually the 2nd and 3rd from there. And I did realize, I don't know, why do I have 2 other pieces cut? I'm not sure. Anyway, I flubbed up and I cut some from the wrong fabric, from another fabric. So I ordered, I was debating on a previous video whether to go ahead and just stitch it on the other ones, because they're not going to be, I'm not going to finish them. Well, obviously they're not all on one piece, but I do want them all to be on the same kind of fabric, because I may finish them. I'm not sure I'm going to finish them, if I'm going to finish them individually on separate, mounted pieces, or if I'm going to find something that, they can be finished side by side. I don't know. So I really wanted them all to be on the China Pearl. So I ordered another pack of China Pearl, and it came in. It took a little while for it to come in because, the coronavirus situation. They're behind on their orders. So I opened it to cut on Tuesday, the last day that I was off. And it's like, this doesn't even remotely look like, this is the new pack right here. Definitely no pink cast to the fabric at all. So I emailed Fat Quarter Shop, and they said, they had reached out to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer said that they had changed some part of their process, but that the quality of the fabric was not any different. Yeah, I know the quality's the same, but that's not my goal. Yeah, I want it to be good quality, but I want that pink tinge to it. So I reached back out and said, I asked in my original email, hey, if I order more, am I going to get the pink cast, or I'm going to get the new, or I'm going to get this? And they said, you could put a note saying that you wanted the pink cast. So anyway, in the meantime, I remembered that I had cut a piece to stitch Jan Hicks' Spring Flourish. And that's the one that I've had, difficulties. I've had to, this is like the 3rd time I've started stitching it because of cloth issues. And for some reason, I was thinking that that piece wasn't quite big enough to stitch this on, but I pulled it out this morning and it is plenty big. So I'm going to just start stitching this again on something else. That was my small start. I mean, it's not huge. And, you know, I was thinking I don't even have to cut it off. I can just stitch up here. So, hallelujah. I have another piece of that China Pearl, actual China Pearl color. So, I can stitch those 3 on the same. So I will be starting the Be Mine house probably today, because I was supposed to start that on Tuesday, and I started the My Love instead. And I think My Love was supposed to be started today, so I'll start the 3rd house today. So yeah, so now I have this China Pearl linen that's not really China Pearl. I wish it was a little bit larger because I signed up for another mystery sew along, stitch along today. And I really, this is like the perfect color to do it on, but it's not a big enough piece. So I was planning to go, that's all my whips. So I was planning to go to Hobby Lobby today because I have a massage appointment at 1 o'clock, which I'm absolutely desperate for. You know, I didn't realize I go for massage twice a month normally, and I've done that for years now, just because you know, the job that I had before was transcription. I was at the keyboard all day long, and so you know, it helped. And then now, you know, I've got the fibromyalgia that I'm dealing with, and I didn't realize how much massage was helping me, like how much it was keeping my pain in control. So I got the notice that they were opening earlier this week, and so I set up the appointment with my normal massage therapist, who's the owner of the spa. And, you know, it was all set to go today. And then I got a text this morning saying that her receptionist staff is still out and they won't be back until next week. So she's having to work the front desk. So she's like, I'm sorry, I have to reschedule. And I understand it's, you know, this is a circumstance beyond anybody's control, but God, I'm so disappointed because I'm desperate to get, you know, some relief from pain. So anyway, I was going to go to town before my massage and go to Hobby Lobby and maybe find a larger piece of cloth to do this mystery stitch along that I'm going to show you in a minute. But I'm not going to drive into town just to do that. So we live a little bit out in the county, so I mean, it's not terrible. It's like a 20-minute drive, but I hate it. So if I don't have to do it, you know, I try to combine as many things that if I have to go into town for an appointment, then I'll, you know, combine as many things as I can. So I have to work tomorrow. I may go after work tomorrow. I'm not sure. So anyway, so I have this piece of linen that's supposed to be China Pearl. That's part of my haul. I did get the backing fabric for the Goodness Grows quilt that was up on my wall 2 videos ago. My last video had a different backdrop, but this is the gray that will back that quilt. This trolley needle that I showed a while ago. So I have one already, and I stitched over the weekend, and I was like, God, I can't find it. I don't know what happened to it. And so, you know, seeing the difference that this made in the way my stitches lay on that little sheet Virtues, it was like, I have to have it. So I went online and ordered another one, and then I found my current one. It had fallen down on the floor next to my stitching chair leg. So now I have 2 back up. This is not stitchy related, but I'll show these because our poor hair and nails right now, right? Everybody's in the same boat, but I do have a hair appointment scheduled for next Friday, so yay for that. But one of my coworkers was hosting a Color Street party on Facebook, and Jan Hicks of Jan Hicks Creates had shared a couple videos back, quite a few videos probably, that she had never, she never really was one to do her nails or anything, but someone she knew was selling these, so she bought them and she's been wearing them. And, it's like, someone who doesn't do their nails and they can apply this and have it look good and have it last, yeah, I'll try it. So a lot of what I wanted was actually out of stock, but I did pick up, I have two of these, which is just a solid, and then one of each of these. And so now it's just figuring out when I want to sit down and try doing it. So I got that. And then the rest of my haul is virtual. I did want to talk about, I shared on my last video, I think, about an order that I had done with Beach Cottage Stitchers. I made that order on April the 27th. My payment in PayPal is still saying pending. And I think it was on Stitching with the Housewives group. Someone else posted and asked about this company. And evidently they have a lot of disgruntled customers. So they do have a little statement on their homepage on their website that says that they've been inundated with orders. But then someone in that thread on Stitching with the Housewives said, I ordered from them way before coronavirus stuff went on and it took forever. So I'm not sure if, I haven't decided if I'm going to try to go through PayPal and tell them, hey, this person hasn't communicated with me whatsoever since I made this order on the 27th. I want to cancel it, or if I'm just going to let it ride and see if they'll eventually send it. I want to stitch the piece one of the pieces that I ordered for my daughter. I would like to do it for her birthday. The Lizzie Kate Let Them Be Small pattern. So we're in May. Her birthday's in September. I mean, I guess I could order it from, before I ordered it from Beach Cottage Stitchers, I went and checked at Cobweb Corner because I was so pleased with their service and the speed of their shipping, but they didn't have this pattern. 123 Stitch has it. Fat Quarter Shop does not. So I know 123 Stitch has been sort of behind on their orders too, which I understand, that part I understand completely. So it's like, do I just let it ride with this one and hopefully eventually it'll get shipped? Or do I cancel it and order from someone else? I'm not sure. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there that, buyer beware on Beach Cottage Stitchers. Because it seems like they've had problems in the past. Okay. So someone in Jan Hicks Creates Facebook group had posted that they were doing a design by, let's see, it's 2x2 stitch. I guess that's what it is. The name of the shop. So, and then someone else commented and said, yeah, she's having a sale. So it was a 50% off sale. So for $10, I got 4 patterns. One thing I will say that I don't like about this particular seller, only one of these came with like a JPEG of what the design looks like in the pattern. So that's why I'm having to show you these on my iPad, because I couldn't print anything off because it's like the pattern. I mean, I guess I could have saved these photos and printed them, but anyway, some really, really beautiful patterns. So this is one. And these are BAPs. Well, a couple of these are. So like the stitch count on, sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. Trying to get to the details. So that one is 287 by 247. Okay, and then we've been having problems with our internet being like really, really, really extremely slow. So it's taking a little while. And then I love pansies. Pansies are my favorite flowers. So she had this design with pansies. Come on, scroll up. This design with pansies. Isn't that so pretty? So I thought her sale was ending, because when I ordered, and it's been a few weeks, not a few weeks, probably last weekend I ordered. And it said that it was ending in 17 hours, but she must have extended it, because they're still showing 50% off. This one I thought was just very unique. And it's also one of the big ones. Isn't that beautiful? With the windmill and those columns, and I just think it's so lovely. And it's, it's one of those sort of like the linens and threads, linen and threads mystery sale that I'm doing. Like, you could do that just in monochrome with one color floss, or you could choose to do the motifs in different colors. If you can see it, I have a hard time seeing those different sections to be able to choose my colors when I'm looking at a chart. So, but I do like the thought of doing something with just one single strand of floss, because you don't have to think, not single strand, one color, because you don't have to worry about color changes or anything. And that one I probably would do it just with the blue and the white, because it looks very Delft style. And this one, oh my. Oops, sorry. Oh, isn't that beautiful? So let's see. I think maybe this one doesn't. The other ones, like, she'll show in different colorways. That one she doesn't, I guess because it's already multicolored. Let's see what the size is on this one. Come on, you can do it. Oh, 247 by 247. Okay, so I got those from that 2x2 stitch shop on Etsy. And then I was on Instagram this morning, and I believe it was a Nevada Stitcher who I follow. She showed this and she said, I'm doing this mystery stitch along. So this is from Bluebird Needleworks. It's not free. You pay $7.50 for, it's like a one-time fee. And how it works is once you finish stitching part 1, you either post it and tag her on social media or you email it to her saying, hey, I finished this part, and then she sends you the second part to download. So it's a little bit of a motivation. Now the designs will be available after December of this year for purchase. But if you stitch them up, before December, basically, before December, if you stitched up all the other parts, then you get that final part. You get each part included in the $7.50 is what I'm trying to say. So this is the Live Simply Mystery Stitch Along. And isn't that just so sweet? So that's part 1. And we do have part 2, I think, has been released. So let me get to that and I'll show you. So this is a 215 by 215 project. So, I mean, those cloths are like so close. I think I need like a 20 and a half inches piece for 28 count. And this is like 18 by 27. So this is part 2. And so I'll share her shop below, but if you go and look at her shop, she has some really pretty designs and stuff. So yeah, I signed up for that this morning. So I need to try to get a piece of cloth big enough to stitch that all on together on one cloth. And I think that's all I've got today, guys. Yep, that's it. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope you get lots of stitching in. I hope you stay safe and stay well. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye, guys.